Hello everyone and welcome to the Atlassian Community Roundup for the month of May. As I'm sure you know, we have a ton of Team 24 announcements to get through, so without further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, so we're gonna kick things off with the announcement of the party continuing. So for those of you who were not able to make it to Team 24 in Vegas, no worries, there are a ton of recap events that are happening all around the world. There are a number of official ones that are outlined in this post, and some of those have already taken place. Some of them are happening into June. There are also a number of unofficial ones. I may be involved in one of those across all of Canada, so go and check out ace.atlassian.com, look for your local community, and see if there's something going on that you might be interested in. If you don't have a community near you, consider applying to be a leader to start up a chapter if that's something that you think you'd be interested in. Next up, community release notes. There were a couple of small things that came out for the month of May. The first of which is that there's now just some updates to the documentation and support link. Those have been combined together. The more important one, and Jack Bricky, who you will see on there as Jack Skellington in the online community, made this request a while ago. Atlassian has finally put it into the community where if you go to ask a question and there is an active incident happening for one of the products, there is now going to be a nice text box right at the top when you go to ask that question telling you a link from Atlassian's status page of any ongoing incidents. So that should help make it easier for you to know if there's something going on that Atlassian's aware of. Next up, badges. I love badges. If you love them as much as I do and collecting all of them, there is a new badge for Confluence whiteboards. All you have to do is join the group, which is linked in this article, and then start actively participating. Comment on various discussions, share your own tips and tricks, help others with their own questions, and that badge is yours. Next up, I think the biggest announcement in what I am constantly sharing is the fact that all of the content in the university is now 100% free. I should clarify, all of the on-demand content. So everything that you would do at your own pace is now 100% free. So go to university.atlassian.com, go check out the learning paths they have, check out all the content they recommend you follow and watch for that. It's all free now, so it's definitely worth going through and learning some new things. And then on that same note, why not come back and share your playlist of your favorite learning content? I thought this was just a fun little one related to that, on being able to share the things that you're going to learn while you have access to all that free content. Next up, if you are not familiar with Loom, it is a relatively new acquisition that Atlassian has. I have just started dipping my toes into it, and I already see how powerful it is. The live learning chapter, which I'm involved in for certifications, has expanded to include a Getting Started with Loom. The first event has already happened, but you can always go and watch the recording of that. And I believe there will be another one coming up in June. So go to the live learning chapter within ace.atlassian.com and go sign up for that if you are interested in learning more about Loom. Next up, this was just something I really enjoyed reading. The actual event is already over, but if you are looking to learn more about how to get more productivity time back in your day, you may want to go and check out the article that's related to this and the quiz about just learning more about how your meetings are set up and where you might be able to take back some of that time to get more productivity out of your day. Next, May 20th, here happened. If you were not aware, Trello made some changes to the way in which they're licensing their boards, their workspaces, and their collaborators. This event technically already happened. There was a live stream that Mike and Brittany did back in April, but they now have put that into the article here. So if you want to learn more about how those licensing changes affected you and some of the things you might want to learn from that, I highly recommend reading this article and then possibly going and watching their video on that. Next up, if you have still not migrated to cloud and you're on data center or you're on server and you're wanting to know a high level, what are the differences between the two? What's right for me? Where should I be? Should I be going to cloud now? Should I be staying on data center? Sushant has put together a great overview of the pros and cons to both systems. So if you need just that overview, go check out this article. Finally, Theodore has put together the painful difference between all tools and the right tools. I know that I am definitely one of those people who falls in the I want to play with all the brand new shiny things, but just because I can get them doesn't mean they're the right fit for me and the teams that I have in order to solve the challenges we're trying to. So I highly recommend reading this. It's a great read on learning what you need to get in order to be productive without having too many tools or not enough tools and too many or not enough processes. Go and read this. And that's all we have for announcements and highlights. Moving on over to the new features and product updates. And spoiler alert, a lot of these are going to be announcements that came out at Teen 24. So some of these you may have heard of, some of them you may not. I'm going to start with the biggest one. Atlassian made an announcement about Rovo, which is their new virtual assistant, AI teammate. What does it do? That is a difficult question. From what was explained, it seems as though it's going to be an AI that you can use to find, learn, and take action on various operations that you have throughout your company. If that was a very loose definition of what it's going to be, there are a bunch of articles that are linked in this one. So this is kind of an aggregate for some of those things. Go read some of the other articles about it. You might get a bit more of an idea. And there's also a link to sign up for the early access for when it's available, if this is something you want to get in and start experimenting with. Next up, not quite as big. Atlassian Guard is not actually a new product. It is just a rebrand of Atlassian Access. So what was previous Access, which was used for sort of claiming your domain and then providing mainly SSO for all of your users into your cloud products, it's now being renamed as Guard. Now, the big advantage that's going to be happening is that Guard is going to be a standard and premium subscription model. So what was all access before is Guard Standard. Guard Premium is going to be including everything from the beta product of Beacon. So what was previously Atlassian Beacon is going to be going away for when it launches in GA, and it's going to be rolled into Atlassian Guard as the premium subscription. So everything about their threat detection and remediation platform things, those are functions that are going to be part of Guard Premium. Next up, Jira. So if you weren't aware, Jira Software and Jira Work Management have been two things that have been around for quite some time, and Atlassian's trying to simplify things. There are now just business projects and software projects of just Jira. We're making it simple, just calling it Jira, and you can configure the projects for whatever makes sense for the teams that are going to use them. So some of the things that are new as a part of this, you will see Atlas, the product for managing goals and projects and communications about them, is going to start going away as a separate product, and it's going to be rolled into Jira as well. So goal tracking is going to be a thing that's a part of all Jira projects. You're going to start seeing a lot more including in the AI, Atlassian intelligence things. The list view, which was previously only in work management, is going to be available for both software and work management projects. And there's going to be some improvements to plans, which will now cover both of those as well. So there's a lot of cool things that are going to be coming as a part of Jira just becoming one combined thing. Next, there are so many changes to Atlassian Intelligence. I can't cover all of them. Go check out the various articles that say unveiling new Atlassian Intelligence capabilities. The one I wanted to highlight was for service management, just because it's one of those that's close to me. And there are a ton of cool things in here. The ones I wanted to specifically highlight are the ones that are not yet available, but the coming soon. You're going to have an AI issue triage where you can have Atlassian Intelligence use some realm of logic to automatically triage and assign issues based on various pieces of information that are in the tickets that as they come in. Your AI sentiment analysis, this one I think is really cool, where it's going to gauge the tone of the language that your customer has submitted to try and get a feel for how upset or frustrated they might be, to try and bump the priority a little bit so that you can get ahead of customers being upset by just reading the language that's coming in through the tone of the way they've submitted things. And then lastly, AI agent recommendations. This one's really cool, where when you are assigned a ticket, it's going to parse through other things that have been solved in a similar manner, or issues that have come up in similar regions, components, those sorts of things. And it's going to make recommendations on ways in which you could solve this, as well as people you might be able to talk to as subject matter experts to help get you some assistance. So making it easier for you to find the information you need and the people you should talk to for helping to solve an issue faster. Also related to JSM, Opsgenie login deprecation is a thing that has happened on March 11th. If you missed that official announcement, you are now being notified here as a part of this. What does this mean? It means you are going to be losing or I should say you have already lost the ability to log in directly to Opsgenie as a separate login identity. Atlassian IDs are now required in order to log into Opsgenie, as it's becoming more and more embedded into Jira Service Management. Next, this is a cool one that I have been waiting for ever since assets became a part of Jira Service Management, and that is that there is now the ability to take assets and put them in a page in Confluence. I have been waiting for this forever. The two things that are important to note about this, everyone can view those, but only those with an agent license and access to that object schema will actually be able to edit and change them. So I think that's a great way to do it, where you're providing the power for the people who should be editing things to be able to, and for everyone else where you just need to be able to show things, you have a window in a Confluence page, which makes it much easier to showcase the things that people need to see. Next up, Confluence is getting improved audit logs. All this really means is that there are going to be new pieces of information, mainly around API token usage for Confluence, that are going to show up in the logs for both Cloud Premium as well as Cloud Enterprise and Guard Premium members. So if you are looking for more information about API access tokens within Confluence, those are going to be coming soon. Next up, Smart Links. This is a new thing that I saw but hadn't really learned more about until I read through this article. If you're looking for the ability to just link that Google Drive document or something that isn't directly in a Confluence page, and you don't want to have to create a page just to get it into the page tree, you can now create a Smart Link, which will put a URL essentially into your content tree so that you can link through to something without always having to create a page and embed it or attach it. So that's kind of a cool optimization for you. Next up, the ability to search and filter your components in Compass, is now something you can do. So you can take custom drop-down fields, both single-valued and multi-valued, and use those to help filter down your list of components so that you can have an easier time finding the things that you're looking for. Next, speaking of Compass, this is a great aggregator of everything that was announced at Team 24 for Compass. So if you are interested in Compass, if you have not gotten started, now is a great time. I know I keep saying this all the time, but now is a great time to go and take a look at some of the new things that have come out to help make it easier for you to link everything that you're doing in your source code to components in Jira and then to your operational systems that are taking place. That's it for the new features and the product updates. The one thing I wanted to pull out of the automation corner is that there is a notice about backend update changes happening on June 17th. I highly recommend you go and check out this article and make sure that it's not something that's going to affect you. I know in the past people have called me out for not mentioning these sorts of things when they show up because they're in the automation corner. With that, that is all the content I have for you for the month of May. Be sure to check out the trending discussions if there's more stuff you want to contribute to. And please take a look at the questions left out in the cold, as those are things that have been in the community for more than a month with no responses on them. As always, I hope you have enjoyed reading or listening or watching this collection as much as I always enjoy putting it together for you. There was a lot to cover this month, and unfortunately I could not put everything into this. When I started looking at the new features and product updates, I had double the number of them, but I really needed to pare it down so that we didn't have this just being a bloated article. So with that, do go and browse the community for more great content that's out there. This is just a taste of everything that's out there. I wish you all the best, and I will see you all next month. And thanks for stopping by.